choosing to go second as well.
Well, this is one of the surprises we've seen in the list. The Turbo Energize starting to make its presence known, as it can be tricky to get your full setup. You might as well give yourself a better opportunity to find your energies early on. And there is a double copy of End's Reshiram, so breathe easy. This is not going to be a repeat of day one.
Yesterday.
We can attack.
We can attack. Hey, that is exactly what you need to do with this deck. You need to be able to attack, and we're going to get there this time around for MATEUSZ. So we're excited for this matchup. All the pressure's on the line, and like I said, these players are going to prove to us why they're here. It's going to be fierce, it's going to be epic, and potentially one of these players will rise, one of them will fall, both sitting at 701 records. It's all on the line here. We have the fist bump. Let's kick things off. What are you seeing, Kyle?
What a way to start things off here when you are in the World Championships on the biggest stage. Top Deck Secret Box. When you're going first.
Oh, that is so premium here. Secret Box, it's got all of the answers that you need. You can throw some stuff away, but then you get everything that you need out of the deck. And Buddy Poffin as well here for OJVIND is awesome to get these Pokemon out. Of course, going to do some prize checking here as well to make sure we're going through this. But, I mean, yeah, this is great here for OJVIND already. Just from a Buddy Poffin, I mean, that's already kicking things off amazingly. But what does this mean? If Charizard can get a very fierce and very consistent starting setup, how is that going to continue throughout the game, Kyle?
Yeah, it just leads to that consistency that you're looking for. Of in the early stages of the game, you're kind of left wondering how you're supposed to attack into this deck. Because if you just attack with Charizard straight into an End Zoroark, you're going to run into some problems. There's an attack waiting for you on the other side from End's Reshiram, and it hurts a lot. Powerful Rage will take you out. As soon as you attack in for 180, it's coming right back twice as hard. So you instead, in the early stages of the game, you need to be using those copies of Boss's Orders or potentially eyeing up a way to disrupt your opponent, force them to take prizes in the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we need to see. Charizard is known for being a comeback deck as well. So if you pair great comeback deck with great setup, I mean, it's just going to be an epic conclusion here. So we'll see how things go in this match. As we said, MATEUSZ chose to go second here, and this is playing out pretty well. Arvin, as we see, is the supporter. Going second allows you to play the supporter. You can search out an item, card, and a Pokemon tool as well. And this is what the strategy comes in with this technical machine, Turbo Energize. It adds so much consistency that we could potentially miss in these End Zoroark decks. And so, I mean, both of these players are displaying that they have, you know, built these decks to exactly what they want them to do and be. And that's why they've seen success so far in the World Championships.
Yeah, and you leave yourself that opportunity of, this is a spot where maybe I can go for a Turbo Energize and accelerate some energies. Or if you don't trust the setup, if you don't see the evolutions in hand, just accelerate those Pokemon onto the board with the TM Evolution. Right. And then it just depends on what you fancy there. Secret Box, it's such a great inclusion. The consistency that this brings for both players. We saw OJVIND, he wants to hold on to that, and that's for rare candy situations. For MATEUSZ, it looks a little different. You need to use this card to get your setup and fill your bench.
Right, exactly. We're seeing here the strategies play out for both these players. The Ultra Ball being one of the discards, as well as one of those End Zoroark and an energy to the Secret Box, and that's searching out this Professor's Research to add to that consistency down the line here for MATEUSZ. The Nest Ball as well, the Artisan that's going to supply us with the Pokemon we need, the Air Balloon Pivot potential here. So you see how the Secret Box unlocks so much. I mean, that's why it's a pink card. It's an ace spec. You can only have one. It's so powerful. You thin these cards out of your deck, and look what's coming out here off the Nest Ball.
Yeah.
What do you think about this one, Kyle?
Do you think there's a strategy at hand here? When Buddy Poffin isn't found and you go for Nest Ball, it means you're eyeing up an EX. Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon here with the one copy of Fighting Energy. This is how you accelerate this into the matchup and become an absolute force, as you're attacking for 140 fairly consistently, and you might not be in trouble on the other side.
Exactly. The Cornerstone stance, preventing the damage from attacks from those Pokemon that have abilities on them. You see how it sequences with the Turbo Energize. The Zorua in the active uses the Turbo Energize, accelerates these 2 energy onto the Ogerpon, so it is already almost ready to go and has just gotten off to the races, and that's going to put some difficulty over for OJVIND's side as he kicks off his turn with his own secret box here.
And as intimidating as this is, you know you're going to run into problems with the Cornerstone stance, but it's not the end of the world. There is a setup for OJVIND that you can incorporate. Chi-Yu with its attack. You can use the Mega Fire of MV following a knockout that you're likely willing to give up at some points. Attack in for a lot of damage, and if you can combine this with perhaps a Dusknoir, there's a way that you can just remove this Pokemon in one play, avoid this hassle ever again, and then some prize cards were taken, and that leads to Charizard knocking out some other Pokemon.
I know, yes, exactly. The Charizard gets stronger as it goes on. And what else is getting stronger is the search potential here in this evolution. The Pidgeot EX with the quick search ability, that's going to put together these combo pieces needed here for OJVIND to go through these turns, get those things that he needs for these combinations, and just continue on with the pressure in this matchup. As well as that, the Artisan's in play from MATEUSZ, and OJVIND can use that as well. It's very helpful over on the counter side as these stadiums are shared between our players. So you see how both these players have access to all of the tricks in their book at the moment in time, and now we get to just watch how these decks function at their full capabilities, which is what you'd love to see here at the World Championships. Charizard EX coming out, Infernal Rain of its ability being used to seek out these fire energy and accelerate them straight to the board.
This is aggressive. I was not expecting this from OJVIND, but sure enough, uses the Charizard early on. The energy acceleration is the piece that I was really considering, as that's a way to surprise your opponent with the Chi-Yu and combo this with pieces of the Dusknoir. Instead, brings the Charizard into play. It's a pretty big threat, but doesn't want to use the attack. It doesn't benefit you to take this knockout. Instead, uses it for a setup. But with that Charmeleon, I suppose you could always go and accelerate more energies on the following turn.
Yeah, maybe just a play into stability at this point here. The Technical Machine Evolution. All the CDs are coming out for both of these players, and the tracks are hot, Kyle.
We got some fire.
We got some fire here, including in that Charmeleon and the Dusclops for those evolution Pokemon targeted out of the deck. That's going to end the turn there for OJVIND as we go on to MATEUSZ's side now for this turn. But how is OJVIND probably going to incorporate this Dusknoir, Dusclops line here, Kyle? What do you think is the best way he could utilize this in this specific matchup, especially when you saw Cornerstone come out too for MATEUSZ?
Yeah, I mean, if you see the Cornerstone, you know that you likely need to lead some of these damage counters from the Curse Blast over to that Pokemon and try to take it out in one swing. But you also like using the Dusknoir pieces to try to clean up the Zoroark. You just can't leave damage on board because you know that End's Reshiram is waiting for you with Powerful Rage.
Yeah, I love that card. It's just a threat that is always there, and it makes your opponent play around it, which is always cool to see. As you see, MATEUSZ going through the deck so heavily right now. These players have just been flying here. You know, the Technical Machine just being thrown down as a card to get out of there for now. We see that ends PP up. Such a great card in this deck. It's really made for this deck to get that Dark Energy accelerated out of the discard pile onto that bench and Zoroark. And now you see how much MATEUSZ has been able to set up in this match here so far. He's got all of these energy on the board. The air balloon is there from the secret box. We have the attackers here too, and just putting OJVIND into, hey, here's my strategy here. Now where are you going to go from there as we see the damage has come down onto this Charizard EX? What position now is OJVIND sitting in now that we have almost a half HP Charizard here, Kyle? Where do we go?
I mean, the math works out so well for MATEUSZ on his side, where OJVIND pretty struggling at this point. He's just working on this initial setup. If you can have the answers following some prize cards being taken, then you feel a little more comfortable. But how comfortable can you be? Is this a spot where you want to take a knockout, remove a Zoroark from play, or do you have the resources to Try to target something else later down the line. It might just be that giving up 2 prize cards early on is the only way Charizard becomes a beneficial attacker.
Yeah, no, that's 100% true. We're going to see, though. Here we go. It is our first Cursed Blast, not from the Dusclops. This is the Dusknoir, the full potential of that Cursed Blast going down here. That's going to be a prize card there for MATEUSZ as well as that goes down. And that's going to put damage on the board here for OJVIND. And that's what we need to see. You know, you put this damage down so that you can take these knockouts, but that's one Dusknoir down here now for OJVIND. What do you think, Kyle?
I mean, Super Rod, such a great card to have in that spot. It just leads to you wanting to be aggressive, take the line that you have in front of you, which is put the damage on this Pokemon, limit their hand size with Iono, and now you have the potential to draw right back into more of those Dusclops, Dusknoir pieces. And there's still a Charizard waiting for you with that Charmeleon. So Chi-Yu into Cornerstone, still very viable on the following turn.
Yeah, you're connecting your math, you're resupplying your resources, you're adding that disruption to your opponent. It's beautiful here. We see the Chi-Yu in the hand now from this Iono for OJVIND. Ultra Ball discarding a couple of those cards not needed here to get another Dusclops out. This is just beautiful, Kyle. I mean, this is Pokemon TCG being played at its highest potential here.
Yeah, and the benefit of using this Charizard and absorbing that first initial shot is that it's so tempting to try to knock this Pokemon out for MATEUSZ on the other side. So it gives you plenty of time to just continue to build up and find Dusclops, Dusknoir. These pieces are the real threat. If they're removed, Cornerstone is going to run over the rest of this deck.
Ooh, yeah, that's scary here. MATEUSZ deciding who to promote. In that end, Zoroark EX coming up now.
Yeah, balloons help.
Balloons do help. They absolutely do help. Giving that pivot there from MATEUSZ, free pivot, so you can have some options here in what you go into throughout this next turn. OJVIND now, we see heavily damaged Charizard EX, but is only sitting at 4 prize cards left to take. This has been a clean and concise game so far. We've just been flying through this, and MATEUSZ seems to be kind of eyeing up, okay, what do I do next? Looking at OJVIND's discard pile, what do you think he's contemplating here in his head right now, Kyle?
Well, as nice as the Cornerstone is, the math doesn't line up very well against a Charizard, so drawing for some additional resources, maybe try to find boss's orders could be the ticket, knock out a Dusclops and avoid some of these Cursed Blasts. With every passing prize card, this ability becomes that much weaker, so you have a chance to potentially leave your opponent in the dust there. But with Pidgeot on the other side, it just always starts to come back.
Exactly. Pidgeot EX, it's just one of those cards. You don't want to target it down because, I mean, unless you really have to, because you have other threats on board that you need to target down, but then you're just letting your opponent get those pieces together, and it's really difficult for players sometimes to be stuck in that position as they're still trying to stabilize their own board as well. Arvin going back into the deck here now for MATEUSZ. We're seeing a counter catcher come out onto the field. It is active currently for MATEUSZ as he currently has more prize cards than OJVIND.
Yeah, that is not the play, however. Wants to hold on to this resource for another turn. And this is where you really need to start taking a look at these prize card counts because it is dangerous for both players. You start to wonder about Curse Blast from one side, and similarly, the ability of this Charizard to take one-hit KOs. It is almost online.
Right. We have the Pidgeot EX to Quick Search, the Charmeleon that's already been down, ready to turn into a Charizard, Dusclops that was sought out well before. MATEUSZ has put himself into 3 prize cards left, but OJVIND is sitting at that even 4 to take. Ultra Ball going in now, discarding that Fire Energy and the Chi-Yu into the deck. Whoa!
I don't know if this hand gets much better. He has Rare Candy, Dusknoir, Defiance Band, and Iono.
What?
Like, what are we doing here?
Well, I guess we see why Charizard's at the top. OJVIND just has the hands, the aura of the Charizard behind him. This is so wild here. Look at this. Rare Candy coming into play. That Dusknoir straight from a Duskull. We see the Defiance Band come down onto that Charmeleon into an Iono that's going to
Boo, we're almost at endgame here with a Night
100%.
Stretcher for the Dusknoir and a Charizard, along with a Pidgeot Quick Search involved.
Right.
There is a knockout on the active Pokemon and enough Cursed Blast damage to take out this Cornerstone Ogerpon. We see the Charizard EX. Quick Search is still around. If Night Stretcher's there, we have all the pieces. This has to be one of the best feelings. It's in the hands.
He has it. He shows it to MATEUSZ, and MATEUSZ is scooping it up now. That is the conclusion here. Kyle OJVIND has just piloted this round 9 as we get... Oh.
He's got Rare Candy Pidgeot in hand and just passes over right now. He's you know what? We'll just be fine. This hand isn't that great. Those prize cards are not great.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's look at some counts here.
I don't love that.
I do not love that either. That is a lot of Pokemon that we're seeing in the prize cards. One of the Charizard EX, the Pidgeot EX, 2 Charmander, at least at the bottom. One of the Rare Candy and Ultra Ball.
That is the only Charmander in play now with the 3.
Okay, but they're both at the bottom here.
Sure.
Right?
Doesn't make me feel that much better. This is still a problem, as you'd love to have.
You want it early.
Ways. If you have this early Charmander to lean on and then the follow-up that you need to use the Chi-Yu, that would be great.
Kyle, OJVIND draws prizes from the top.
OJVIND. Is this just something that you could do over in Finland? Is that how the globe works on that side? You just draw that way?
Oh my gosh. On MATEUSZ's side, though, lots of supporters in the prize cards here. We were talking about Counter Catcher, countering up different plays. Boss's Orders is another way to do that as a pivot here.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, because they're both in the prize cards. But we also saw just like heavy Arven in the last game between these players. I feel like he kind of needed that Arven for a lot of his setup there. Maybe it was just the only supporter he found. I don't know. So we're starting, of course, with Arven, which is always great on your first turn to get this tool card. Get the Nest Ball, as we saw before. Do you think MATEUSZ is going to go same exact strategy here? Get that Cornerstone and Turbo Energize.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds great. What we do see is a little bit differently here is the Secret Box is not being used this time around. Wants to go with this consistent approach, smaller setup, and then save those resources so that maybe when the Ionos do come, when your opponent Curse Blasts and starts taking things off the board and prize cards are falling, you have something to draw into instead.
Well, also, it's a little different as well. Started the Monkey Dory, now has that Dark Energy attached, unlocking the Adrenabrain. Do you think that's going to make much of an impact here for MATEUSZ?
That card might as well just say Mind Bend at this point. There's no way OJVIND leaves damage on board. We've seen it. He just does not want to do that. It can lead to so many issues in this matchup. Right. And unless, of course, you're just working away slowly at the Cornerstone, you're trying to take big one-hit KOs.
Yeah, I mean, that's what this deck does, and it does it well. And another thing is OJVIND out here making a name for himself, and it's Charizard King, as we see the Rare Candy into the Pidgeot EX, and the Quick Search is unlocked here for this turn. We're also seeing the Ultra Ball, discarding a couple cards to go in first to the deck. We're going to see another Duskull. This is where OJVIND now is seeing, oh, my prize card's a little tricky here.
I'm a Dusknoir deck now.
I'm in trouble. I'm a Dusknoir deck. Yeah, and I mean, like you said, Kyle, this Charizard deck needs the safety net. You put multiple Duskull down, multiple Charmander. You get that Charmeleon out that we saw from OJVIND from the TM Evolution last time, because you need that consistency to carry you out in the later game. But if both your other Charmander are stuck in the prize cards, I mean, how does he even navigate that going into this match?
Well, you need to evolve this Pokemon and preserve the hit points and just slowly start to incorporate energies onto other Pokemon. If you have the Chi-Yu, maybe this is a spot where you manually attach to it and have it set up for following turns, because you know you are susceptible to Boss's Orders onto Duskulls, Dusclops. If those Pokemon were to be knocked out, you want to have a response.
Yeah, was that the professor's research with the Pogo code on it?
Yeah. If anybody zooms in real quick, you might be able to unlock that card. We'll see if he's actually taking advantage of that.
Yeah, the professor's research with the Pogo code. I mean, time's up. Oh, come on.
Got to rewind.
Rewind that. Well, here we go. OJVIND has found the pieces here now into this Rare Candy for this Infernal Rain off the Charizard EX. Now we have a giant 330 HP Charizard sitting up in the active position. But like you said, Kyle, we got to survive here. We have to maintain the health of this Charizard and try to reign supreme on this match in some other way here to apply some pressure. So it's definitely a lot weaker, due primarily to the prize cards here for OJVIND. And as we see the Charizard EX drawn from the top. No, we need those basics, not the evolutions here, but unfortunate there as the Charmander sit on the bottom. MATEUSZ here going into the deck to get some energy out with this Earthen Vessel after a quick discard. This time around, Cornerstone Mask, Ogre Pawn EX. It's up here, it's in the active position now, and it's it only needs one more energy, I think, for its attack. So here we go, and that energy has been applied from MATEUSZ. We're going to see that paired with a boss's orders this time, and that is what we needed to see in the last game. Taking out these pieces, forcing OJVIND to have to put more together, and he's already on the back foot, too.
Yep, and this is where the prize cards, as sad as they were, they end up in your favor. When you draw from the bottom, you find boss's orders, and it's waiting right there for him. As OJVIND will continue this setup with quick search, you know you have the ability to bring this Duskull right back into play. There's always additional copies of this card. There's Super Rod, Night Stretcher. You can bring all of these pieces back, but typically it's going to be one at a time. And that means that if there's the response from MATEUSZ on the other side to bring this Pokemon up, he needs the answer to bring up a card every single turn, or else he's walking into double Dusknoir pop, this Pokemon's gone, and I lose.
Exactly. Yeah, it's that slim of a margin here in this game. I mean, the pressure is on here, and it's getting intense. But, you know, we love to see it. The Chi-Yu finally coming out here. Oh, my gosh, it does sound like a sneeze. Chi-Yu here coming out. It's got a Defiance Band. It's got an energy attached as well. This is the way that OJVIND adapts in this situation with this Chi-Yu. I mean, how important is this card here, Kyle, for this specific scenario?
It's everything here. The main piece that we need to see right now to go along with this is the second Duskull, because this is similarly the other Curse Blast that you're trying to set up. If you have this resource, then you can attack with the Chi-Yu, use the Curse Blast, that removes the Cornerstone. If you don't have the Chi-Yu, then you go with the double Dusknoir. It takes a little more pieces with the rare candies, but ultimately you still get to the same conclusion. So now you're forcing the hand of MATEUSZ to have the resource right here and now, and you just used Iono. It seems like you could have a spot where there's just a wasted attack into Cleffa.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Cleffa being put into the active here for that grasping draw. We're going to see the hand refilled for OJVIND, up to 7 cards now in the hand. So we see the refilling, trying to stabilize here and take the reins in this match. MATEUSZ now on the other side after that Cleffa grasp draw.
This hand in the hand is absurd. It's just all the ways to find it bad. All the ways to find basic Pokemon are in his hand. I think we saw multiple Artisan, Nest Ball, Buddy.
Oh no!
Just things you don't need right now.
Let's trade.
Well, especially when you're sitting there thinking you don't want to extend into this board state. You want to force the attacks into the Cornerstone, but you don't have the resources. Thankfully, Arvin's found secret boxes available, but you can't move Pokemon in this spot. You've already used your supporter. You can't incorporate a counter catcher here. This is a wasted attack.
That is rough here for MATEUSZ to see at least the secret box going in, just choosing what to discard there. Or sorry, just gonna choose. Oh, it was just a pass.
Yeah.
So the Arvin just got that tool, got that secret box, and passed over back to
Okay, I mean, obviously, this is correct. From MATEUSZ, you cannot play into the Chi-Yu, walk into a Fire Energy, Rare Candy, Dusknoir, and lose your only Pokemon. However, OJVIND has an opportunity to just find the other copies of Rare Candy and get this done. I think, however, we run into a spot where one is in the prize cards. So double Rare Candy is not available here.
Yeah, that is, yep. As you see there, double Rare Candy unavailable. The prize cards are just being punishing here for OJVIND, but having to discard a couple things, that secret box to get out these pieces. The deck is slimming here for OJVIND, but now he knows that that's not a thing. Mesa Goza coming out.
I think
what are they laughing about?
We just heard a laugh. Yeah, well, MATEUSZ is playing around a situation with the prize cards to not give away all of these with 5 prizes remaining.
Yeah.
However, Briar was just revealed. And you just see that, oh, well, no matter what, these 2 Pokemon could result in 5 prizes either way for me. So, uh-oh.
I mean, I guess it's also a Charizard deck. I feel like you always expect the Briar, honestly. That has just been a staple for a while now in Charizard, and it is probably the best deck to utilize it as well. Take that extra prize card right at the late game and just win games with it. I mean, it's ended so many games as well. I mean, not as many as Boss's Orders, but still standing on its own 2 feet. Dusknoir here throwing that Curse Blast damage at this Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon. As we see, paired with the Iono, this has been the consistent strategy every single time here for OJVIND. The Ionos do not stop. They're just continuing to shuffle the hand back to the bottom of the deck here from MATEUSZ, and now he's drawing less and less cards for each prize card that he takes.
Well, trying to come up with a way to knock out this Pokemon. The Defiance ban does line this up now as Mega Fire of Envy deals 50 up to 80 now. It's perfect math for the KO. It's not going to be a game-ending situation, whereas this Pidgeot could have found the rare candy in a Night Stretcher to close out. The prize cards don't let that happen. However, it's still a devastating blow here to remove this Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean, it's just gorgeous. The math is literally perfect. That Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon EX and at 80 HP left, and it's going to be taken out by just a cute little fish. I mean, he's just a friendly little guy, you know?
How's he on fire in the water? He must be hot.
He's like a volcanic fish, maybe. I don't know. Either way, it's working for him. That is for sure. This cute little 1 prize Chi-Yu coming in with the Mega Fire of Envy. What a name. Paired with that Defiance band. They're now going to take 2 prize cards for OJVIND in this matchup. And MATEUSZ losing that Cornerstone Ogerpon. Where does he go from here, Kyle?
Soblock. That's where I'm at. This is a list that does incorporate another mask of Ogerpon there with the Wellspring. So potentially there's a world where you can use a counter catcher, Boss's Orders, something to lock up a Pokemon as you already see 4 energy on the board. Maybe?
Maybe?
Help!
Maybe. I mean, it's one of the options here, and it might be the only thing.
Mesagosa's looking at a water guy. I mean, you got to look at your resources here. This Charizard has so many different ways to attack in and deal extra damage and manipulate prize cards. One thing that it's terrible at is switching. So
yes,
if you include these conditions, maybe just saw blocking, Monkey Dory coming back, there may be a world where you can just keep a Pokemon like Pidgeot of all Pokemon in the active spot. 2 energies. If the energies aren't there to attack, maybe you keep it around.
You just try to hold on here. That is what MATEUSZ is doing. We see this trade here on the end Zoroark, discarding a card, drawing into 2, but it just doesn't look like MATEUSZ is happy with what's going on right now. And I mean, how could he be, really? He's eyeing down such a difficult board, and even with OJVIND, with the difficult prize cards, he is once again showing the power of this deck that has just brought him to this fierce position. The board states are just polar opposites here. Super Rod is going to help MATEUSZ out here to get some of these energy back into the deck and these 3 dark energy out of the discard pile now. But, I mean, yeah, it's a tough game so far here.
Yep, of course, MATEUSZ, he's grasping at straws, trying to find a way to stay in this game, understandably so. You know that a lot of Charizard lists will have that Professor Turos. That is in the discard pile. However, there is a copy of Palpad. If it is in the prize cards, MATEUSZ feels great, because then you know that you can lock this Pokemon up for the remainder of the game,
right.
Move on to Game 3. There's a quick search. If it finds Palpad, brings the Turo back, you're going to walk right into a problem here with a quick KO.
Well, here we see there's a lot of draw happening here from MATEUSZ. Flip the script, drawing into 3 additional cards. Now we have this Wellspring Ogerpon EX in the active position. Energy has been attached to unlock that Sob attack, as we've been talking about. It's 20 damage, but it also locks your opponent's defending Pokemon because it can't retreat anymore.
Yeah, if the hand was a little better, maybe the lock would have gone onto the Cleffa, as you know that there is no relevant attack to help out later on. But you're not going to find Monkey Dory Dark Energy with it already being in the discard pile in this hand. So go after the Pidgeot. We know the Palpad is probably on its way here.
Yep. We're seeing a roll there. That was for the Mesa Goza here. But yeah, we see the Palpad. It's coming out straight away. Professor Turo's scenario, the key to these pieces you've been talking about once again. You just pick up a Pokemon back into your hand and reset your board here. So that Saw block can be worked around by these supporter cards, by the item cards that can kind of get out of those scenarios. And with so little pivot, I feel like in our format too, I mean, this is truly where you see this happening in these supporter cards like Turo.
Yeah, there's an inevitability of this card where you're going to be in trouble very soon. OJVIND is setting up a little more here with the Dusclops. The Curse Blast available potentially could target down Pokemon like the Zorua. If you find multiple copies of it, you could remove that from play on the following turn. And then you have the quick search for the Turo to get out of Saw block, win the game with Charizard. It's all right there, but it might just be a turn away.
Yeah, you're almost like, okay, just taking a step back here a little bit. Arvin coming out to seek out these pieces here for OJVIND as well. I mean, it's clean. It's been clean gameplay this entire time. Charizard EX somehow is just a deck that has so many pieces, and part of that is so much disruption that has been troubling MATEUSZ this whole time as well. Dusclops coming out here. Now we're back over to the other side of the field. That Mesa Goza has been going back and forth between our players this entire time. You got to roll for it, and that determines which type of Pokemon you get to seek out. And Zoroark EX is going to be the pick here for MATEUSZ.
Yeah, you can see the lines. If the resources aren't there, the end Zoroark builds up. You see multiple trades this turn. You can find Pokemon like Monkey Dory, play down that Dark Energy, and start to move this damage all across the board. Eventually, you just win with 20 damage over and over and over again. But the inevitability of Turo waiting their quick search and its endless power that it's able to provide this deck of consistency, it is so much to overcome.
So much, I know, and you kind of see it there on MATEUSZ's face. I mean, he's fighting here in this game, Kyle. We see the Zorua being set up. We already had that flip the script come out on the earlier turn for MATEUSZ to help kind of put some things together before Palpad being used now for MATEUSZ's own supporters to be shuffled back. But it's really like, do you have enough pieces to get around this scenario at this point?
Yeah, I think the way that you try to come back here, you need to move Pokemon off the board. If you draw into the Turo, maybe you can protect this Saw block and try it one more time. But how do you force the Turo to come out this turn if not for Saw sitting there?
Well, we're going to see some trades first, discarding into some additional cards here from MATEUSZ.
Well, I mean, we're close to seeing Blood Moon Ursaluna situation here, but it's still just a little bit off in the damage count, and I don't think we have a way to amplify that here too.
Yeah, 240 damage from that Blood Moon Ursaluna late game card.
One more Sob into this Pidgeot, then comboing the Blood Moon Ursaluna with an Iono with no Pidgeot in play, that would have been devastating. It's just all the pieces are just a little short.
Well, we're seeing here, I think MATEUSZ is working through this in his head. Like, no, is it going to come down to this? Everything on the line here between these players. MATEUSZ is trying to fight, do whatever he can in this match.
Did a great.
Like he was about to sob.
This is exactly what you need to do. Just all the hit points are in play. 3 prize cards remaining for OJVIND to close this out. You're going to lose your Wellspring Ogerpon here, but is it possible for the Pheasantipity to be removed in combination? It takes Dusknoir, Rare Candy Dusknoir to get that done. We haven't seen the Rare Candy just yet to do that, so could be another turn here.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the turn we need. We just need to buy those couple extra turns, but it's really going to be on both these players. Who is going to be able to capitalize on these extra turns and take it? But they have to put their resources together first, and we've just been missing a couple of those key components from both sides. So it's truly like the anticipation and the intensity has built here. Mesa Goza does hit ahead, so we're getting a Pokemon out here for OJVIND.
Right, and this is just thinning purposes. You have a few more resources you'd like to draw into, and if you can find them at the right spot, you'll be okay. We know they're probably the most important one is that last top prize card, which is beneficial for OJVIND, the way he's been drawing them. But this is the Professor Turo. This is the last time that we can see this Pokemon moved again. The lock has to be perfect from this point forward. MATEUSZ has the energy on the Pheasantipede. He can retreat this Pokemon if he draws well. Trades need to line up into the counter catcher, the night stretcher, and eventually the energy for a Munkidori to lock in on a Cleffa or a Chi-Yu of all Pokemon. One of these Pokemon has to be stuck.
Oh, well, this is MATEUSZ's turn here to try to put this together and make it happen. Mesa Goes is going to start us off with the heads, going into the deck to get a Pokemon out in that Munkidori, and he's looking at the deck. He knows that it's potentially there. We haven't seen what the hand is yet. It's pretty slim, but we do have the ability to draw into more cards. It's just going to be, what are those cards? This is going to be crucial here for MATEUSZ.
Yeah, plenty of draws here, multiple trades.
Flip the
script to help out. We already pulled the Munkidori out. Now the Night Stretcher is a prominent piece of this. I mean, if the cards are there with Arvin, you certainly have the Nest Ball to bring this Pokemon out. But you could find the Night Stretcher and get there. But do you have the energy to go along with it?
Well, we saw a bunch of energy traded back into the deck from the Super Rod, recycled in there.
Look at this massive hand as he wants to go for the final trade.
I think.
What? He's already tilted the card he wants to
he's doing
draw.
it. Just deciding what to discard. It's going to be the Nest Ball draw into these two cards here.
Any help? Is there not an energy to go along with this? The Saw Block just can't happen. Ends PP up. Is there an energy switch to go along with this?
I mean, that would be wild. That'd be very cool.
There's one copy of Energy Switch.
No way.
Turbo Energize.
Oh no!
Do you just have to fish with Iono? Like,
oh my gosh, that is so scary though. I mean, it could potentially come down to that. We're just not seeing it. Blood Moon Ursaluna being put down. We're seeing MATEUSZ slim the hand here before this Iono, but it is coming down to this Iono here.
Yeah, we're over trying to find out how you even lock in from this point. Munkidori just pushed the damage from your side. You have to find a Pokemon that can lock in for a long time with the Saw Block. You can buy a lot of time, but how much do you need to find 4 prize cards?
Yeah, this is just so rough here for MATEUSZ. I mean, brutal. We're stuck with the Pheasantipede in the active position. Both trades have been used here. Blood Moon Ursaluna just stuck on the bench, and he knows it. He sees it. He cannot make this happen, and that means he's scooping it out.